Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today we are going to be channeling messages from your spirit team, your spirit guides. The reason I'm saying spirit team as well, you guys, is because when we look at our spirit guides, when we look at the team around us in spirit, it's more than just like guides that are helping us. We can have our ancestors behind us. We can have loved ones that have passed over that are walking with us and checking on us. We can have ancestors from other timelines that are checking in on us and helping us at times. We can have pets there. There's so much that goes on, you know what I mean, in our spirit team that I've even seen within myself, whether it's been a soul I helped out in one lifetime and they've come to help me at a certain point or get over an obstacle. There's so much there because we're so loved, and I really just wanted to not just limit it to just like guides and just open up that spirit team and really see what messages they have there. So you guys have 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1 is the red jasper. Let me bring it up so you can see it. Pile number 1. Pile number 2 is the blue calcite. And pile number 3 is the jade. So see which crystal you were drawn to. I'm going to be using just oracle cards in this reading. Normally I'll bring tarot in, but for some reason I'm being more called at the moment to just channel, and yeah, that's what I thought. I'd just use oracles instead to just kind of like channel that energy through. So that's what I'll be doing today. So see which crystal you're drawn to, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pal 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what messages your spirit team have for you right now. So I'm going to be channeling any messages that your spirit guide, spirit team feel that you need right now, any guidance that they feel that you need right now. The first message that I'm being told is in regards to water. I'm being told for you guys to drink more water, consume more water. There's also something coming through about eating more consciously. There's an essence of that, or really tuning into what your body needs physically. That is something that's come through straight away. I'm not going to say a specific diet in this reading because there's so many of you watching that your bodies are all going to be different. You will want to eat different foods. Your body's going to need different foods. So I'm not going to say certain diets or anything like that because, you know, whatever your body needs. But there's an essence of you taking the time out to physically connect to your body and really understand what foods make your body sing, or like even in the sense of like, there's a question here, like what are you doing for a job? What are you trying to obtain in this lifetime, and eating for that. For example, I find that people, when they channel from higher realms, they tend to want to eat more light. When they're tapping into that light within themselves, they want to eat light foods that have been touched by the light. So a lot of fruits and a lot of vegetables, and anything that's distorted from that, it may not agree with them very well. They like to keep their body very light. I'm somebody like that. I need a lot of fruit and veg and keeping my body very light. Whereas, you know, if you're trying to build muscle or something like that, you may need something different. So it's like listening to your body of what it needs and really understanding what fuel your body needs, because your body will tell you. So there's a reference to either get out into nature or get into like a meditative state and just see what your body likes, listen to what your body wants. One thing I like to do is just sit down, ask spirit, okay, what is good for me? What can I eat that's good for me? And I'll kind of like write down everything that would kind of be good for me. And sometimes there's foods I've never even heard of. So there's an essence of that, of getting to know your body, that they want to reference really quickly. So you guys chose the red jasper, which is funny you chose that because we were just talking about the physical body and you connect into it, and then the red jasper connects us to our root chakra. So that's quite a bit of a synchronicity. So I'm going to start with your animal spirit deck. Like I said in the intro, I'm not going to be using tarot. I'm just going to be using oracles, and your card just flopped out. So we have the elephant that's just flopped out for you guys. Okay. Okay. Whether it was in a past life or whether it's ancestors from this life, I feel like there's almost like tribes coming through in your spirit team that would have been connected to nature, whether it's an ancestor from the lifetime you have now or past lives. Whether it's an ancestor, whether it's something that you're picking up in from your ancestral line, or whether it's something that's embedded in the soul. There's a reference here with this elephant card that, how do I explain this? you are in your essence when you're rooted and connected to Mother Gaia. You are a strong source of light. You may download like myself and channel a lot like that. You may take on a lot of energies in regards to, you may be an empath, you may be clairsentient, you may take on a lot. And because of that, the way that a lot of your incarnations have been in other lifetimes, I'm being told, there hasn't really been technology, of course. I mean, it's only recently technology has come in, but you haven't been in the hustle and bustle of life. A lot of your lifetimes have been in tribes. A lot of your lifetimes have been connected to spirit, connected to the physical body, connected to the higher consciousness of the physical body, being in a state of peace, being in a state of receptivity to the earth's currents, to the energy and the currents of the collective. Like, that's where you work best. You work best in simplicity. You work best when there isn't a lot of clutter. And you work best when your brain isn't like being rushed about and taken here, there, and anywhere, because then you start to feel like a shell in the ocean, just getting banged across every rock sort of thing. That sounded a bit weird, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like you'll be taken here, there, and everywhere. The way that you move about in this lifetime is being very rooted and being very at peace and being in that energy of receptivity. And the reference with this elephant card here is when we look at the elephant, they're very peaceful. They could cause so much destruction, but they don't, because they're peaceful. They understand nature. They're very connected to their physical bodies. They're very sweet. They're very loving. And that's the essence that I feel like you take on. And I'm being told for you guys right now, and it's a message from your spirit team, to, like you would a garden, cut the weeds out of your life right now that are pulling you from your essence. You know what your essence is. I'm being told because that's you in your truest form. That's you when you have those moments of wisdom and you're feeling great. What's happening in those moments when you're feeling great? You know what I mean? What's happening in those moments? I can probably guarantee it's not when you're scrolling through social media and picking up on everybody's energies, or when you're being rushed about or having things projected onto you. I feel that you feel great when you're out in nature and being able to tap into nature cycles. I feel like you feel great when you're in the moment spending time with friends. I feel like you feel great when you're able to dance and listen to music. That's when I feel that you feel truly connected to your essence. And I feel like the way of the shaman kind of lives within you, and your spirit team are referencing you weeding out and cutting away anything that takes you away from that essence and unanchors you from that essence. That's the first message that I've got. We're going to build upon that, of course, but that's the first message that came through. So let me pull some oracle cards. I'll start with the Sacred Sea Oracle. So pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. What guidance do we have from my pile number 1s, please? What guidance do we have? We have Ingenuity, the octopus spirit. One more card from this deck, please, spirit guides. Pile number 1. What guidance do we have for my pile 1s? What was I saying about foods and making sure you're eating foods that like agree with you and listening to your diet and what your body needs? The card that's just come out is Algae Medicine Mother. Consume consciously. That's literally the card that just came out. So yeah, okay, let's get into that. Back of the deck, we have the Whale Gatekeeper, Innate Infinite Wisdom. So let me pop I'm not going to keep the back of the deck in shot, but I'm going to leave those there for a second. So Ingenuity and Consume Consciously. So what I'm talking about here, especially with the octopus here, and I like to reference the octopus. I find a lot of empaths can feel like that sometimes, like the octopus, where each tentacle is being taken somewhere else. My energy is being here, I'm caring for somebody. Then my energy's sheer because this person is offloading their baggage onto me and I feel obliged to listen to them. Then my energy's on social media because I'm checking up on this and that. Then my energy's on, then my energy feels tired because I just ate something that didn't agree with my body. And now I have no idea how to bring that energy back to me, and now I'm feeling depleted and tired. Because all these tentacles are being pulled in all these different directions, right? So what I'm being told here is to, wherever you can, they're almost showing me like an egg. Whether I don't necessarily feel like I'm here to say go into isolation, but I'm being told for you to take one day, just one day, whether it's a day off work or a day where you can just be by yourself. Turn that phone off, because I feel like some of you guys may be on your phone a lot. Listen to your body and really take a look at where your energy is going. Because what I'm seeing is somebody with a lot of energy cords going to either different people or different people just trying to tug on you, feeling entitled to your energy, or not even realizing that they're doing it. They're not bad people, but they're just kind of like projecting or offloading a lot onto you. And I do feel like you have that healing nature. Like I said, that shaman energy, it lives within you. But just because it lives within you doesn't mean it's there for the taking. And I feel like what your spirit team are calling you to do is establish better boundaries, but not just with other people, but with yourself. And with the ingenuity card, it's almost like taking a look at the people you're around right now. How do you feel when you're around them? Because you're very empathic, you'll be able to see, how do you feel when you're around certain people? When you get off the phone to that person, how do you feel? Because there's a sense of reviewing that situation, or the way that you're applying yourself to that situation, if it's taking your energy, or having to really put down a firm boundary with that person. What about the workouts that you're doing right now? Is it bringing anything to your life, or do you need to shake it up? Maybe you're in the same routine every day. Maybe it's time to shake that up. Maybe you're not getting to sleep at night, maybe because it's you're on your phone a lot, or maybe you're eating a lot of sugar that's keeping you up. There's little things like that I'm being told to get into that state of awareness. They're showing it to me like an egg, being in that state and really looking around. Okay, well, this takes my energy and this keeps me up at night and this does this, and just writing it down, because you'll be surprised when you write it down, it's on paper, it's more manageable. Whereas when it's not written down and we can't see it and bring it into the physical, it can seem like it's overwhelming us. And I'm almost being shown somebody with all these waves and then their head's going underwater and they don't know how to stop it. And I'm being told to become the anchor and take a look then at everything going on in like hindsight and really understand where your energy is being pulled so that you can pull it back. Because once you understand where these energies are being pulled away from you from, for somebody it's literally just food because we have consumed consciously. But when I say that, it's not just food that we consume, it's the TV programs we watch. Are you watching things that elevate you? Are you watching things that make you fearful, that put you in a lower vibration? What music are you listening to? Because music, whether people want to believe it or not, can tap into a different set of consciousness. I've had songs before as my alarms to wake up in the morning, and I was waking up in a really bad mood because I was sleeping through them. So they were playing, and my spirit guides came to me and said, don't have this person's song as your alarm, because there's just energies in there you don't want. It's being put into your brain. You don't want to be taking that in first thing in the morning. Maybe later on when you've anchored yourself, not right now. What are you doing in the mornings? Are you waking up and looking at social media? Are you checking emails and worrying about work? Because your mornings are supposed to be for you. You want to at least give yourself an hour of anchoring yourself into the physical before you start rushing about or being taken out of your essence, because then that becomes your programming for the rest of the day. And no matter how much you try and shift that, you may find that you fall back to factory settings. You want to make that first hour, that first kind of layer of your day, and you want it to be filled with love and beauty and harmony and peace. You know what I mean? So that when you go throughout the day, no matter what it is you're challenged with, you can revert back to that. Because even the food you eat in the morning, it lays that foundation for the rest of the day. That's what I've found anyway. So that's something that I'm being told as well, to really write down these things that you feel may be taking your energy, and then you can target them one by one. Or even if it's just like people taking your energy, put in those boundaries, get into a meditative state. Imagine you and this person with a cord, and cut that cord so that they're not pulling on those energies anymore. And I want you to repeat maybe after this reading, if you feel called to, all of my energy is my own. I call all of my energy back to me. All of my energy is my own. I call all of my energy back to me. Because we forget, especially being very clairsentient, like I feel like you are, being on social media, it can be time consuming, but at the same time, we are being pulled on with our energy. I've been off social media for about a week and a half because I'm taking a break. The energy that I have, that I didn't have a couple of weeks ago, the fact that there's been that much of a shift, you may even be able to see it in my own readings, and I've been a bit more frequent. It's wild how much more energy I have. So being clairsentient and being an empath, I know what it's like having that energy consumed, and you don't realize it until you put a break to it, or you stop and then you see the difference. So there's an essence of that coming through for you guys, but that could be taken again to food or just the people around you, keeping an eye on it and seeing how that's really making you feel. So let's pull the Salt and Sea deck, pile number 1. What guidance do the spirit team of my pile number 1s want to pass on today? We have low tide. Step back and take a break. Disconnect to reconnect. That's the first card that drops there. So, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's what we were just talking about. Let's pull one more card. Let me move these over because I want to get the cards in the view so you can kind of see them all. Okay. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. What message do pile number 1 spirit team have for them? Wisdom is found in truth. The pile. Okay. Back of the deck, we have the sunken ship. Your past does not have to define your future. That's what we have at the back of the deck. I feel like some of you guys are pushing for a rebirth or wanting to. Maybe you've been doing inner work, maybe you've been doing shadow work, or maybe you've just been like on go mode, or you've just been giving a lot of yourself. And there's this essence of like, I want to have all of this energy to do all of these things. I want to reach that new beginning, but I can't. Why is that? And there's this essence here as well of like, where should I put these cards? Up number there. There's this essence of you guys almost like there's an essence of this new phase is in front of me, which your spirit team are saying this new phase is right here, right now, not in front of you. It's not somewhere that you will reach. It's somewhere that's always been within you. And the way that you tap into that is surrender into the now and embodying it. When I was trying to come out of my phase, it was like a whole 2 years of just me, going through my darkness, and I was trying my hardest. I was even lying to myself, like, we're getting into a new phase, we're coming into a new phase, and it wasn't happening for me at all. And I kept saying, oh, new year, new me, or new month, and it just, every new moon, I was like, I'm in that new phase, and I just wasn't getting there. But what I was doing in that moment was I was still denying the present moment because I so quickly wanted to be out of that phase. But to be in a new beginning, we have to enjoy where we are currently at. And it got to a point where I had to surrender to where I was at and be like, you know what? I'm obviously not in this new phase. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know if it's going to be now or in 10 years. It's been like almost 2 years now. I'm fed up. I'm just going to surrender and embrace this is where I am. And all of these emotions that are still here, I guess I'm just going to have to like really embody them right now. I don't really know what they are, but I'm going to have to filter through them. So I surrendered. I fell back. I stopped pushing and I just surrendered, right? Within 1 month of me no longer saying, I'm going to be in this new phase, I'm going to be in this new phase, with me just accepting where I was and saying, well, I'm here, may as well have a good time with it, and just being in that cocoon and accepting that I wasn't a caterpillar, but I also wasn't a butterfly yet. I was this pile of glue. The minute I accepted it, it was like, fine. The universe just like, with the, when I say the tide being out, the tide just came in and the universe just brought me back to shore. And I just tapped into this other sort of, what felt like a different consciousness, and I was in this new phase. But I never I was chasing it for 2 years, never got there. But the minute I was just like, fine, I'm here. I'm in this phase. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep in. I'm not going to try and work. I'm just sure. Was the minute it flipped for me. Well, not the minute, it took about a month. But that transformation period happened. And that's the reason they're telling me to tell you that story, is that they're wanting to reference that with wisdom is found in truth, and then step back and take a break. disconnect to reconnect, it's like, embrace where you are right now. If you're tired, admit to yourself that you're tired and allow yourself to sleep, allow yourself to have that day to chill, and look at what's taking your energy. And while you're like filtering that out or getting rid of it, be in this state of awareness of where you are right now and enjoy the present. Because it's like when people say we want to get to 5D, we can't get to 5D unless we enjoy the 3D or we enjoy the 4D. Otherwise, that's called escapism. We have to enjoy where we're at right now, because we're not jumping from 3D to 5D. We're bringing the 5D to the 3D. We're making them emerge. So that's a message from your spirit team there. We're not trying to escape where we are. We want where we are to become that heaven. We're not trying to leave the life that we have right now and step into another one. We are making the life that we have right now abundant. And to do that, it has to happen in the now. So you want to tap into the now, because maybe it's something that's been taking your energy. It could be something that you may have been indulging in to escape the reality that you may be in right now. For me, and I'll put my hands up, for me it was food. You know what I mean? I used to escape through food. I would eat a lot. And it wasn't until I was aware that I was doing it that I was able to really tap into, why am I doing this? I'm escaping something here. Because this isn't conscious eating. This is me indulging in something that is making not only sick, giving me health problems, but it's also taking my energy away. So why is it happening? What am I ignoring? So there's a reference of you being in the present. That's why they're calling you to like disconnect to anything that may be keeping you from the present, so that you can really filter where you're at right now, because that's where the rebirth is going to come in. It's not going to come in by it being chased, because it's not a point in time. It is now. It is happening now. It's always within. It's not something that's being gifted to you. It's something that is already within you. You're just kind of snipping away the illusion of it not being there. And that's a message that I have there with those cards. So let's pull the Rose Oracle now. Someone asked me the other day about this deck. It's Rebecca Campbell's new deck. Let me get it for you guys. I was waiting for it to drop for months. And I put an alarm on because I was so drawn to it. It's the Rose Oracle. It's so beautiful. And I had comments the other day when I used it, like, what deck is this? And I understand why, because it's literally beautiful. But it's the Rebecca Campbell Rose deck. So pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 1. What message? Oh, God. Hang on a minute. Oh, that's not supposed to be in there. Wait there 2 seconds. I just dropped the cards on the floor. I'm very clumsy today. I was saying in one of my other readings, I was finishing it off earlier, but for you guys, it would be the other day. I don't know what day it is, because I don't know what day I'm putting this up yet, but it would have been a different reading. And I was saying I've been in a kind of, like it says here, disconnect to reconnect. I've been in that stage for a while. So like shuffling cards and being in my physical body, these little things, they feel a little bit foreign to me. So I'm being quite clumsy. So forgive me. Okay, so let's pull pile number 1. What messages does pile number 1 spirit team have for them? What messages does pile number 1 spirit team have for them? Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Okay. And we also have the Wild Rose. Do it your way. Embrace your uniqueness. Untamed. What do we have at the back of the deck before I get in? What do we have at the back of the deck? Plant yourself here. Integration, embodiment, grounded, action. Apologies for the wind outside, you guys. Do you see how I've gone all quiet all of a sudden? In your sleep, you guys, I feel like Spirit's really healing you and helping you heal. For some of you guys, this metamorphosis is happening. For some of you guys, it's like you're learning to disconnect so you can go into this metamorphosis, so it'll bring you to this new phase. But either way, I feel like there's a sense of not being able to find your inner peace right now. Everything's too loud. Everything's too fast-paced. I have too many ideas. I have too much on my plate. I have too much I need to push forward, I need to run forward, I need to do this, and that. And I almost feel like your spirit team's coming through because they're making me embody it. Like, I see them around you and I see them sending you healing, sending you this peaceful energy. I'm being called for you guys to get some blue calcite, some celestite, some selenite crystals. I feel like they would be very soothing for you right now. But there's something about turning the phone off and being in nature. That, again, there's something about being in the light, being in the sun, or even if it's not sunny where you're at, being with simplicity right now. Nature keeps coming through so strongly. Whether it's it's going to be different for all of you, because normally I'll have one element, but it's different for all of you. For some of you it's the ocean and the water. For some of you guys there's something about air for you. This is the thing, you've worked with that element a lot in your past lives. It's showing me Pocahontas when Grandmother Willow says listen with your heart. I'm being shown somebody, right, standing on what looks like a mountain, right? So there's a lot of wind and it's windy outside. So there we go, setting the scene. So I'm being shown the wind coming in, and I see you guys like in a simplistic nature and saying to the wind, like, show me something or help me realize something. And imagining the wind of Mother Gaia, like the energy of Mother Gaia and all of that. I'm having you like imagine it's like this energy. It's like you're able to see the wind kind of flowing into you, and with that you're able to download the answer that you're seeking. So that could be the same with water. You could ask the water, like, help me download some information that can help me right now, sitting in water, or going out to nature, grounding your feet and saying, Mother Gaia, connect me to what I need right now. Or standing, again, the air is coming through, and asking that, or even staring into a flame or something like that, or closing your eyes and taking in light codes from the sun. If you're more connected to the fire element, I'm being told to keep it open to whatever it is you're connected to, but there's something about that being really like a really helpful tool for you guys, like listening to that energy coming through and asking that element to show you something and having that kind of embody you. I feel like that would be really helpful to you, or even asking that element to ground you or cleanse you of other people's energies. There's a reference of that coming through, or help you tap into like a higher knowledge or something. Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. You're like, there's almost this feeling like I've lost my spark, I've lost my flair, I've lost my creativity. I used to be someone that was very creative. I used to be someone that was very artistic. However, I don't have the passion for life right now. That passion's still within you. It never burned out. However, like I said, there's little things that are taking your energy, which are making you feel like you're not tapped into it. You are very tapped into it. But when we're on go, we're not going to be able then to tap into the wonder of everything, because we're being pulled in 100 directions, and that's why you're being called to bring your energy back to you, in whatever sense that is. Even if you need to say to somebody, look, I don't think I'll be able to communicate with you a lot over the next couple of days. I'm going into myself. Can you just respect that boundary for now, and leave me be for a couple of days? Like, I'll say that to my friends, and I'll say, look, I really need to go into myself. I'm going into a bit of a metamorphosis. Like, don't text me for a couple of days. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. And I'll text you when I'm back. I just can't get to you right now. And I've had friends in the past that have demonized that and cut off from me. And, you're a bad person for doing this. But then the friends that I have right now, you know what I mean? They respect my boundaries and they will listen to that. And when I'm ready to come out of that little like peephole again, I'll come out. So there's an essence of you maybe saying to people like, I need to just like slow down and hold the ropes a minute and really like come into myself. Can you not maybe offload on me right now? Maybe I can help you in the future, but right now I have enough going on in my cup. My cup's very full. I can't then take on that again. I'll be overstimulated, because there's this feeling of you being overstimulated, which is almost clouding your judgment and also just clouding your peace, your inner peace. So that's something that's coming through. And then with the wild rose, do it your way, embrace your uniqueness untamed. You are going through this rebirth, and this whole essence of you maybe feeling stuck or feeling like there's no sense of light and all of that. I feel like that's part of the rebirth, because that old way of the way you looked at life, it is dying so that a new one can be rebirthed. But while that's happening, you need to be in your own essence to allow that metamorphosis to take its place, instead of whether it's you guys maybe not wanting to see the shift that's happening and not wanting to see those parts of you that are falling away. Maybe there's a fear, I'm being told, of what if I never find my light again, if I just succumb to what I'm feeling right now, or what if I never find my creativity again, if I put that pen down right now. But like the tides, when they go out, they do come back in. So embrace this low tide, because the tide will come back in. And the same way that you're going through this shift and this metamorphosis, so is whatever it is that you're holding into and scared of letting go of. And by letting go, it'll come back to you in a very free way, and you'll have a new connection to it. Like I posted the other day, if you saw it on my community tab, if you find a disconnection to a hobby or something that you love doing, allow that disconnect for now, because when you do reconnect to it, you'll probably have a higher understanding of it, because the meaning of it is dying. That's why you're disconnecting to it right now, so that you can be reprogrammed to a new essence of it. Because while you're being upgraded, you're going to be seeing that in a different way, and that can apply to anything. So that's what I'm being told, and I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. The back of the deck: plant yourself here, integration, embodiment, grounded action. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm being told for you to ground and anchor yourself into the present moment. A lot of nature, I'm being told, is something that you're there's something about ancestors, but it's like also ancestors from past lives, that they keep referencing that you're naturistic at heart, and all of this hustle and bustle and everyone taking your energy, it's like your soul isn't used to it. So it's like there's like friction, you know what I mean? And we want to be in a state of flow. So pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides, what message do pile number 1 Spirit Team have? The Sacred Lotus. Enlightenment. No mud, no lotus. I love that saying. It's one of my favorite sayings. So we have that card. I'll pull one more on the other side, and then I'll channel for them too. Pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides. What message do we have for my pile number 1s? What message do we have? Your cards just fell on the... We have the... Oh, sorry, guys. I just knocked the camera. We have the Trumpet Gentian. I thought I said gentleman then, but it doesn't say that. And we have the butterflies on the image as well. I'll show you now. Power and healing. To get what you love, you first have to be patient with what you have. What was I saying about you guys? Like, instead of projecting what you want, being rooted into the essence of what you're currently in and accepting where you are, so that you can alchemize and enjoy where you are to then bring that in. We literally have it here. To get what you love, you first have to be patient with what you have. What was I saying about we want to ascend to the 5D, but we have to enjoy the 3D first? And look at the butterfly here, symbolizing this rebirth that is literally happening in your energy. And as well, the elephant card being here, you guys may work with Ganesha. You know, he's the remover of obstacles. And I feel like these little obstacles, they're here for a reason, but it's like you're learning to weed out and clear that path so you can just walk it, you know? But with no mud, no lotus, the lotus doesn't try to detach itself from the mud. The lotus doesn't look at the daffodils and the lilies and go, oh my God, you're not, you know, stuck in the mud right now. Like you're growing in a fresh, like kind of green field. There's all greenery around you. I need to disconnect from my circumstance right now, because that lotus bloomed in the mud. So there's an essence of like not cutting yourself out of the situation that you are currently in, and instead watering the situation that you're in. When we see people and they don't like the life that they're in, it's not that they want to quit their life. It's because they don't like how their life is right now. But by embodying and understanding where they are right now and physically connecting to it and wading through it, they are then able to transmute that into something else. It's like, again, they keep referencing the kind of like connotation of like the 3D and the 5D. The 5D isn't separate to us. The 5D is always within us, but it's like we didn't sever ourselves from the physical to get there. And there's an essence of that, not cutting yourself away from where you're at, to bring this new beginning in, because this new beginning starts with you. It's not a destination that you will reach. It is where you currently are. And with power and healing, I do feel like that's what you've probably been doing, healing work, inner work. To get what you love, first you have to be patient with what you have. Yeah. and cutting out anything that's bringing you from that inner peace within. The back of the deck we have, and I don't say this, flux, unanimity and harmony. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. And that's what I'm being called for you guys, to get out in nature so you can be in harmony with the universe, in harmony with Mother Gaia, in harmony with your physical body. Because by tapping into it, then you're tapping into your essence. Let me move these over here. You're tapping into your essence, and that will create the rebirth for you. Just settling into that energy, you know? Any more messages before I end this reading for pile number 1, please, Spirit Guides? Any more messages for my pile number 1s? This is a message from someone's spirit guide coming through. You have the key, and you had the key all along. This new beginning isn't being granted to you by your spirit guides, by the universe. This new beginning is being granted to you by you. You have the key. Don't wait for someone else to bring you out of the energy or something to come and shift it. It's you that creates the shift. It's all happening within you. And that's why you're being called to detach, because there's a feeling of I don't want to how do I explain this? This is why you're being called to detach from anything that's taking your energy away, because they're showing me the egg and you having all of your energy within, and what's happening when you're pulling all of that energy back to your essence and being shown that egg being lifted and placed onto another paradigm. But that egg can only be lifted and placed onto that other paradigm, one, when these, again, it's like the octopus tentacles, when they're all pulled back within, and when you understand that, I'm having trouble channeling, but I'm getting it through. When you understand, this is showing me images and it's hard for me to put into words. Can you help me, please, spirit guides, put this into words? Message coming through from this spirit guide is, by you pulling your energy off and bringing it back into your essence, you are then seeding yourself into the current moment, which is allowing that newness to grow. There's almost this essence of like a flower that's withering, and you wanting to take that flower that's withering and place it somewhere else for it to grow. When Spirit's saying, let the flower wither, let the seed fall into the ground, allow it to be planted, because through that seed, something else will grow. So that's something that's happening to you right now. Allow the petals to fall, allow it all to fall so that that seed can be placed into the ground. And that's where that rebirth comes from, that growth. But the seed didn't have to be moved. Nothing needed to happen, because nature just happens in general. So there's this energy of don't try and water what's already dead. Don't try and force the flower to bloom when it's not time yet, because maybe it's that flower's turn to fall away so that that new seed can plant something new. Because there's this essence. They're referencing the seed being planted in the ground, but they're also referencing it as you being this egg, calling your energy back to you. And then that egg is being lifted up and placed into another paradigm so it can crack open and you can grow then. And then I'm being shown a butterfly flying out onto that new paradigm then. And I hope that's all made sense for you. But that's what I'm being told. Is there anything else that's coming through? Silence is going to be a powerful tool. I feel like you're searching for tools and nothing's quite hitting right. And I'm being told the tool right now is silence. Being at one with your thoughts. Silence. Listening to everything in your body, these feelings coming out and observing them like visitors coming into the body and allowing yourself to feel them. But like all visitors, they're called visitors for a reason. They don't stay. They flow away. So just allowing it to pass through like the tide, go in and out, and being in silence. It's really going to aid you right now, Pal 1. So that's what I have for you guys, Pal 1. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 2, welcome to your reading. So we are going to be channeling messages from your spirit team. So any guidance, any uplifting messages, anything that you need to know right now that they'd like to get across, that's what we're going to be channeling today. You guys chose the blue calcite. I'm going to place it over here, right at the top, and we are going to get straight in. So like I said in the intro, I am going to be using oracle cards for this reading instead of tarot. So we're going to get straight in, and I'll start with the animal spirit cards. So spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of my pile number 2? Straight away I heard Jhené Aiko's song Limbo, 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 and the lyric I heard was, sailing through the cosmic sea, a celestial frequency was needed to fulfill the prophecy. There is an essence right now for you to be going within, pile 2. There is an expansion about to happen, or you can already feel that it's happening within your, it feels third eye, but it more so feels like crown chakra. I would normally say, okay, this is an expansion that's happening, but I almost feel you're enlightening yourself to a new way of seeing the world, seeing your own gifts, and seeing the magic of life. And to do that, I'm literally being shown the song that is Limbo, Limbo, Limbo. It's on Jhené's album Sold Out, and in the video she's kind of like, what the lyrics kind of represent, she's kind of like swimming in this, what is meant to be like a cosmic sea. She's swimming in the middle of this sea, and there's this reference of that. I mean, if you want to go into the sea you can, but it's more so the sense of like that Pisces energy, that 12th house energy. I don't know if you're going through a lot of 12th house transits right now, but there's this essence of you drifting into like the ethers in a way to tap into your own wisdom, because there's answers there that I almost feel like you're kind of being ushered into or ready to tap into. And I wouldn't even say that there's a gift of breaking. You're just understanding this gift to a deeper perspective, which is allowing you to not only develop those skills that you would have worked on in past lives, but it's helping you integrate this information into your own life to kind of like expand your knowledge and awareness of what life is. So in ways it feels like an ascension, but it's almost like an ushering, like when the student is ready, the teacher appears sort of situation. That's how it's coming through. So there's a reference of you really tuning in to your mind right now and your crown chakra and your third eye in whatever way that means for you. They're almost referencing a doorway that's familiar to you, walk that way. So if the way you meditate is in silence, do that. If the way that you meditate is listening to crown chakra singing bowls, third eye singing bowls, do that. If it's like chanting, whatever the case, whatever feels right for you. But there's almost this reference, like when you come back through the door, the way that you tap into those elements of yourself is going to be different. It's like you're going in one way, coming out another, more expanded with knowledge. And there's something about like past life energy coming through. But I'm being told like a mixed bag. Some of you guys, it's strictly like third eye essence. So you may be getting a lot of visions, a lot of psychic premonitions, things like that. But for some of you guys, it's literally channeling through the crown chakra. And there's just like, it's a potent time for that right now, I'm being told. I'm really sensing like a huge shift, even in my collective. I'm feeling it myself, but I feel like we're all integrated like a web, and I can see that like even in my own readings, and I just sense that with you guys as well. Like I see you guys going deeper into the occult and the esoteric and you know, all of that. I see you guys doing that. So pile number 2, please. What's the message from my pile number 2s? You may be feeling called to, it's different for all of you. Some of you guys may be called to go on a spiritual retreat. Some of you guys may be called right now to travel if you can. I know what the restrictions are like. Some of you guys may be feeling called to like read a lot more books or learn a certain subject. And then some of you guys, again, it's like literally just going within that sort of thing. Some of you guys, it may be plant medicine, but it's entirely up to you what resonates for you. But there's some sort of knowledge that is going to be being revealed. Now the card has just come up for you guys is the peacock. So let me place that down by here. The first thing that I want to say about this card, you guys, is I don't know if you guys have this deck, but there's not a lot of color on the cards. There's specks of color, but I almost feel like, especially with this peacock card, when you look at the cards, this is probably the most colorful one, the most eye-capturing of the group. And one thing that I want to be taken to as well is the eyes on the peacock up here and the essence of that. There's this energy of you tapping into, the more you're tapping into yourself, I feel like you're almost being uplifted to another paradigm. Like, I hope this is making sense. Like, you are, by going within and tapping into that essence and that energy within you, I almost feel like this transmutation occurs, and I see it's not even a case of I'm jumping up to another paradigm. It's like I'm creating a new paradigm where I'm at currently. And that's something that's coming through with this card, with the peacock. And I see with that, you're seeing a lot more color in life. You're seeing, I feel like there's a gift that may come through in the sense of like you being able to see, you being able to energy read. You know, sometimes when I tap into you guys and I'm like, oh my God, I'm being shown the color yellow because I'm tapping into someone's, like, there's this extensive energy of the solar plexus, or there's an extensive energy of this or that. That's coming through. That you will be tapping into that if you're not already. And if you already do that, then it will be becoming more potent. You'll be able to understand it on a deeper level. But also, like, being able to see auras. I don't know if, like, you already do. Maybe you have to really focus, but I feel like something's coming through where you're able to see auras and understand the energy to that higher degree. Like, things are becoming a lot more colorful. There is a strong essence of that, but it's happening by you, like, turning inward. And that's when you bring that energy. Like I always say with the 4D and the 5D, it's not that we escape the 3D to tap into the higher realms, it's we bring the higher realms here. And that's something that I see you guys doing. And I want to also say, at the back of the deck, you literally have the owl. Now, the owl represents, you know, that wise old soul. It represents clairvoyance. It represents that wisdom. And I just feel like that's always been within you, but it's like you're expanding and touching on another layer. There's a part of you that you've outgrown. There's a part of you that's like, it's almost like a snake. I'm being shown a snake. Like, there's a part of you that's being shattered right now, that's kind of like falling away. And like there was an essence of that with pile number 1, but there was like a worry. But with you guys, I don't even feel a worry. I feel like you're quite welcome in this kind of like hermit energy. And when I say hermit, I don't necessarily feel like it has to be I'm closing myself off to others. It's more so this essence of like, I'm tapping into the deeper understanding of others because I'm tapping into that deeper understanding of myself. There's a lot of, like, I would say aha moments, but I don't even feel it's that. It's more so layers being ripped off. I keep being shown a snake, just like its skin being taken off. And I feel like you guys as well, you may be wanting to, they're telling me feng shui, so some of you guys may be getting into that, but they're telling me that you guys may be wanting to like change your house around, change your room around, maybe even switch your style, because a new level of you is being tapped into. A new level of you where you see a lot more color. You may have worn certain colors in the past. Now you're tapping into different colors. So I see like you guys may be wearing different, you know, you may start wearing yellow, red, blue, whatever the case. Like I just see you having not only this zest for life, because it's past that, it's like I'm seeing deeper because I understand something deeper. And there's something that you're reaching right now. And alchemizing right now. And it's like, there's something about you're tapping into your own Akashic records, but they're referencing it like your own internal knowledge. I feel like something about that's coming through. So let's keep going because we've got oracle cards to pull here and I've just been speaking for like 10 minutes. So pile, time flies when you're having fun. That's what my spirit guide just said to me. Time flies when you're having fun. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. What message does pile number 2's spirit team have for them right now? What do we have here? We have coral reef sea queen, environmental awareness. So we have that, and then we'll pick one more card. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. What message does pile number 2 spirit team have for them right now? Sacred burial temple, embrace transition. What was I saying? Embrace transition. So we have that. Let's take a look at the back of the deck and then I'll channel these. We have the priestess of purity, the crystalline purity. And look at the energy coming off her crown chakra here, and her third eye. Look at that energy just shining off her. Yeah, I feel like I'm quite having trouble like putting a name to it, because I feel like to call it a spiritual upgrade would almost mean that you're being shut off to be turned back on, and I don't even see a shutdown at all. It almost feels like an initiation, like you've reached this point, now it's time to expand. Yeah, I think that's what I'd call it, an initiation to a higher part of yourself. If you wanted to call it an ascension, you can. But it doesn't feel like you're not that you're not evolving, it's a sense of like, this has always been me, I'm just shedding the layers off sort of thing. The egg is hatching, I'm coming out, and the world that I was in this egg, my whole life I thought it was all that this was, this egg. You know, when you think of like a chicken and an egg, like they don't know what's outside of the egg, they just think it's I'm in an egg sort of thing, right? They're probably not thinking that, they probably don't even know what an egg is, but they think that that's all there is, and they're just embracing where they are. When they become conscious then and they hatch out of that egg, there's this whole entire world beyond now that they have to learn and understand and tap into. Now they're understanding, whoa, I'm a bird, I have wings, and they're tapping into all of that, and there's an essence about that. And I'm being told I may have done a reading, like I remember like referencing something in the past, but it wouldn't have been recent. It literally would have been like September, October time, maybe August time. And I remember there being a reading where I was talking about you guys being in an egg, and at one point it was going to hatch and you'd be embracing that new. And I was referencing you guys like alchemizing in that egg. You may have been from that reading, because I feel like it's now time that that egg hatches. And if you weren't from that reading, it's fine, but this is what I'm being shown. You guys kind of like hatching from that and seeing new possibilities because you understand life to a higher degree. They want me to be very careful like what I'm imprinting in regards to like realizations, because it's a journey that you're going on, so they're being really bitty with that. But environmental awareness, why do we have environmental awareness? Yeah, you know, like I was saying about the chicken breaking out of the egg, and then there's this whole new world that they didn't even realize even existed while they were in that egg. You breaking out of that, it almost feels like one realm and jumping into another. You're now seeing the light and the abundance, maybe of Mother Gaia herself. Maybe you've always wanted to escape and tap into the higher realms in the sense of let's escape, or I don't want to be in the 3D, I don't want to be here, and maybe been very connected to the starseed side of it, but not really cared too much about the physical. But in this sense of you hatching out of this egg, there's this sense of like, I love how it's coming up to Easter and I'm talking about eggs, that's funny. Yeah, that is really funny, because it is like a new period, because it's the astrological new year. That's funny. I like that little synchronicity. But anyway, like I was saying, you guys breaking out of that, you're understanding that that higher realm, it was never a part of you, it was here. So you're tapping into that higher connection of Mother Gaia herself, your physical body itself, nature itself, and like looking at the abundance of life on earth instead of like seeking it elsewhere. It's here, it's right now. So that's something I feel like you guys may be tapping into. For some of you guys, you may be from my psychic reading I did, the psychic gifts reading that I did, where I was talking about your life purpose in some way, and your psychic gifts are kind of attached to you connecting to the higher consciousness of Mother Gaia in the physical body, because that's almost coming through with the environmental awareness, you being very cautious about animals, seeing them to a higher degree, understanding them to a higher degree. You may even go on like a diet shift, you know what I mean? And that's whatever calls to you. I'm not planting any dietary things on you because you have a different body to me. We all have different bodies, so whatever your body calls to you. But you may be finding that your body, or this higher self of awareness, does not want to eat certain things, or does not want to take in certain things, or is rejecting certain things and acting badly to them. So that's something that definitely I see shifting with you. And then sacred burial temple, I feel like that goes without saying. Embrace transition. There is an alchemization going on right now, but it's more so a shedding of constructs that you may have kept yourself in. It almost feels like, it doesn't feel like an ego death. And if it is an ego death, I feel like you've elevated to a point where it's not a storm. It's beautiful. It's like you're embracing it. It's like, I'm ready for this sort of thing. This new phase that I wanted, it's here. I almost feel like you may have watched pile 1 and then a couple of weeks later come back and watch 1, 2, because 1, 2 almost feels like a continuation of pile 1 in a sense. So that could be the case. But that's what I'm being told. There is this kind of like physical transition that's happening. That's why you're being called to tap into your crown chakra and third eye to receive these downloads, these light codes, this understanding. Let's pull some more cards for you guys. Pile number 2. I feel very excited for you. there's almost this feeling of like catch you in the ethers, like, you know what I mean? Like I'll see you in my like lucid dream. I don't know why I feel like the need to say that. Like, I don't know. The thing is about my higher self, she shows up in people's dreams for some reason. She's everywhere. So I don't know whether you've been having dreams and I've been there, but I just felt the need to say that, catch you in the ethers, like catch you in the higher realm. So I don't know if you're gonna have a dream. It could even not be me. It could be other people, or even like a celebrity, or like a YouTube person, or an Instagram person, or like someone that you just look up to as like some sort of teacher. There's like an essence of that. Like there's a feeling of you guys understanding that we're all interconnected, sort of thing. There's a feeling of that coming through. I don't know. I don't quite know what to make of that message. Why would I feel the need to say that? Maybe I've seen you guys in a dream. Pile number 2. Right, okay. I feel like the reason I felt the need to say that is because you're realizing that guidance doesn't come outside of yourself, it comes within. So by going within, tapping into the higher consciousness of whoever you need to, your ex, your parent, maybe myself, or even your spirit guides, they're all there. There's this essence of like, you're realizing how close those realms really are. They're not far away, and that you don't need to escape to them because they're already within you. There's an essence of that coming through. That's why I felt the need to say that. Pile number... Things are about to get weird, I just shared, but in the best possible way, it feels. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. You may be starting a course, like a course where you're able to, again, expand on these gifts, or where there's like a group of people. You may be being ushered into like shamanism or anything like that. There's a sense of that too. But I almost feel like you've already expanded on it. This is just a higher level. It doesn't feel like it's anything you're learning new. You're just understanding something deeper. You would definitely be my psychic pilot. It does feel. So we have the sailboat. Do not fight the wind, learn to sail with grace. So that's the first card we have here. Let me pull the other one. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. We have murky waters. Self-reflection and introspection are needed to regain clarity. You may be going in for this right now and thinking, what on earth is going on here? I don't know. Am I going a bit crazy here? Like, what's going on? The back of the deck, we have anchor. Be hopeful. Choose optimism. So we have that at the back of the deck. I would say, with that card being at the back of the deck as well, to make sure that you are grounding. You are grounding yourself into the physical right now. Because when these things happen, what will happen is the chakras that are the kind of hyper-focus can sometimes engulf us, and it's normal that they're being hyper-focused because they're expanding, but we need to make sure that while they are being hyper-focused, we are focusing on things in the physical and grounding that out. So for example, if we're having a huge expansion in our root chakra and we feel very grounded, we want to make sure that we're balancing things out and maybe meditating and connecting to guidance that way. Or if we are having an expansion in the solar plexus, we want to make sure that our heart chakra is being balanced so that we, understand that duality. So it's the same thing. The crown chakra, third eye, throat chakra being hyper-focused up here. The lower chakras, you want to make sure that you are balancing them out. Maybe it's physical exercise, being in water, being rooted in earth. Make sure that you are doing that. For some reason, the sun up here is really shining out to me. There's something about you getting I like to go out in the garden in the mornings. This is why I love this time of year, because it's sunny again. And I like to just close my eyes and I let the sun hit my third eye and my crown, and I'll just receive light codes. Some days I'll just be grounded. Some days I'll receive downloads of past lives. Sometimes I'll reach another state of awareness through it. And there's something about the sun being a tool. Meditating outside in the sun. Make sure you put like sun cream on. Make sure you're nice and safe. But also make sure you don't look directly at it. I feel like I need to say that just in case. But allowing the light codes of the sun, like asking the sun, what do I need to know? What can you teach me right now? And allowing that energy to come through. There's something about that with the sun card here. Someone's psychic abilities, like literal psychic visions. You may have always had psychic foresight. You may have always had psychic dreams. But now it's like Spirit's relying on you to send you these visions now. They feel like it's time for you to receive these now, which could be confusing. You're like, why on earth am I being shown this sort of thing? And sometimes it can be daunting, because like I'll sit there sometimes and Spirit will send me a vision and it's about like something happening in the world, and you don't want to believe it because it's not always like things that happen in the world, and then it happens and you're like, whoa. So it was like Spirit were like letting me know beforehand, and I feel like that's happening for you. It may have already been happening, now it's coming in stronger, but for some of you guys it may have been like only revealed to you in dreams, and now it's coming to you in the waking state. Do you understand what I mean? But with sailboat, do not fight the wind, learn to sail with grace. Yeah, there's this energy of I don't feel that you'd fear this per se. I don't feel that you'd fear this. I feel like you feel like someone that has been round the merry-go-round in regards to your spirit gifts, and I feel like you're someone that has been on ascensions before. I don't feel like, if I'm to sit here and say to you ascension, I don't feel like you would quake at that. But there's this essence of allowing this transition right now. So maybe it's like, oh, I really wanted to get this thing in the physical world sorted, but now I'm being ushered to go within, and Spirit's kind of like all in due time. Because sometimes, like, say we want to get like a course sorted, or we want to get something sorted and there's a delay, it's because maybe we're stepping towards it and it's the right thing we're meant to be stepping towards, but there's a heightened awareness as to why we're doing it. So then once we hit that transitional stage and we see it from a higher degree, we have a better understanding of why we were called to that, and we can expand on it then. So there's something about that with the sailboat energy. And then with murky waters, self-reflection and introspection are needed to regain clarity. What I'm being told here is, it may be the sense that you're feeling kind of muffled right now, that there's this psychic essence coming through, and everything's kind of like muffling. You don't know what's going on. Am I going a bit insane? Am I going on another ascension? What is going on? And that's why Spirit's like, right now your tool is silence, or your tool is meditation, because you're going to have a lot of information coming through. Like, I'm literally being shown like a book being downloaded into somebody's head. Like, it feels like that. Like, there's a lot about to come through. But remember that you're anchoring into the physical to allow it to come in. That's something. Because I feel like sometimes you'll have you may be a little bit confused about your path, and then it's like, I need to go to someone else for guidance, but you're stepping into a time where you don't need to go to anyone else, but for guidance you need to go within. So maybe you used to watch a lot of pick of cards, maybe the transitional stage that maybe you've been on has been a bit heavy, so you've needed guidance and it was right for that moment, but now you're coming to a point where it's like, I don't need anyone to shine the light on it, because I can shine the light on it myself. Like, I'm realizing that I'm the lighthouse, and I say that with a lighthouse literally being in the corner, if you can see it. So you're realizing that you are that lighthouse then, you know? What just happened? Did I just like make my camera move up? I think I did. There's a lot of things going to be happening that's like unexplainable to you as well, pile 2. Little things where you're like, did that actually just happen? Did I actually just see Spirit there? Did my clairaudience just break? Did I just understand like what was just like sent to me? You know what I mean? Or did I just feel the emotions of my cat? Like, there's a feeling of that, and you're like, this seems a bit crazy. And it may get, I don't think it would get overstimulated. I almost feel like it's a welcome shift, but there's this essence of making sure you're grounding yourself right now. And eating foods that are grounding you right now. I'm also being told technology may be acting up around you, or will start acting up around you. It's because not only are you downloading a lot of energies, but Spirit, like, there's almost this essence of like mentors or certain spirit guides now stepping onto your path to work with you, certain deities. Because to be honest with you, when I'm tapping into your spirit team, it's a crowd. Like, there's a lot. So I feel like there are energies around you like aiding you from like past lives and stuff like that. So with that being said, when Spirit's around very close, it can interfere with technology. I don't know if you've seen sometimes when I'm channeling, and you'll hear my voice go high pitched. This happened on a couple of my videos. It's because me channeling like that, Spirit's interfered with technology, so it's kind of caused like a friction there, and I've had to like sort out the video, and then it, like, the audio sounds high, I sound like a chipmunk, like it happens sometimes. So there's a reference of that with technology. I'm here, I don't know why I keep being referenced to Jhené Aiko, but I'm hearing the song One Way Street, going the wrong way on a one-way street, and she sings, I'm feeling strangely sane today, I rearrange my brain today. I can't remember the rest of the words. Yeah, that I can't remember the rest of the words, but that's like something that she says. It feels very abundant though. It's like you're being taken to sea in life. They just keep referencing the chicken hatching out of the egg. Pile number, oh my god, what was I just saying about the sun and you being connected to the sun because it was shining out there? We literally have the sun. We literally have the sun. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, play. Yeah, you are coming to the understanding of something that is going to have you look at life, like your actual life, as this abundant playground and see the light in it. And I see you guys moving forward from this being more in your physical body. Because you've always been someone that's tapped into the higher realms and stuff like that. But because of this new level of understanding, you are going to feel more confident in who you are as a person, your physical body. And I see you wanting to do things that push the physical body. It doesn't have to be like working out. It could be like doing activities that are more fun. Bodyboarding, jet skiing, quad biking. I love quad biking. Quad biking is fun. And that just came through. I wish you guys lived by me. That would be fun. What else? I see someone, what's it called? Kayaking? You know, like Moana on the boat sort of thing. I'm seeing that. Zip lining. You may even feel the need to want to travel. See things. It's like, there's not enough life for me to see. I want to see it all. Like, I want to live. Like, there's this feeling of in the past, like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be. I know it's like, I want to live. Like, I want to live. I want to have fun. I want to run free, you know? I'm hearing the Snoop Dogg song with Wiz Khalifa, Young, Wild and Free. I'm hearing that. Pile 2. Someone's really getting into fashion, either again, or they're finding a joy and love for clothes. It's not going to be for everyone. I just got shown someone looking like an absolute fashionista. I'm seeing somebody with shades on, living the best life. Like, you know, I just see something like that. We have the next card, Rose Without Thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. Now, something's coming through here that I am being told to address because it may aid you in healing. Have you come from a family that's been through a lot in their life? Like, maybe you've had to heal a lot of karma, alchemize a lot, work through a lot of wounds. Because there's this essence of you, again, they're referencing the bird. You must be really connected to birds. I mean, you literally had the peacock and then the owl at the back of the deck, so you must be. But there's this reference of like fleeing the nest, ready to flee the nest now. But then there's this feeling of like, and they're saying the word survivor's guilt. And this is something I've dealt with myself. Pile 2, it's like when you heal those wounds and you find the beauty in life again, but the people that you grew up with, the people whose wounds you also healing through yourself, they haven't decided to heal or they're not at that level yet. So you feel guilt to jump out of the nest and flee the nest because you wish you could bring it with them and you wish they could reach the level that you just reached. There is an essence of that coming through, that you may have survivor's guilt. Maybe you've always been around someone and now it's time to like be on your own or travel or do something like that. And there's this essence of understanding that you being free this way, you enjoying that joy in life, you're meant to. You have a right to your joy, like it literally says here. You have a right to see the sweetness and the nectar of everything. Like you have the right to do that. And by you, like always shining your light, that inspires them to do the same. And you are liberating them by enjoying your life in that way. So don't I'm not going to say don't feel guilt, because that's an emotion that you may feel, and I don't want to take that away from you, because you should definitely process that if that's how you feel. So I'm not going to say don't feel guilty, but don't beat yourself up about choosing your own happiness or choosing yourself or fleeing the nest or anything like that. Don't beat yourself up, because you deserve to live the life that you want to live and not be restricted. That's something that's coming through. The back of the deck, we have the Rose of Venus. Alignment, flow, right relationship, harmony. You may have heard so many times, like, pal two, you have a soul tribe and they're coming in. And you may have thought in the past, where? Okay, but where? I'm on my own. But I think it's time that you do meet certain people that are kind of on this new path for you now. It's funny because I say new path, but it doesn't even feel new. It just feels like the path that always was. You're just breaking out of the restraints. That's how it feels. I feel like you're going to find new people coming in, connected to your work, connected to your job, connected to your hobbies, that share the same awareness as you. Pal 2, that is something that's coming through. Pile number, it's like soul family coming through. And the thing is, even when we're with people and they hurt us or they don't choose to heal, they're our soul family too. But we need to understand we have a lot of soul family, and some people don't choose to do inner work in this lifetime, but that doesn't mean that other members of our soul tribe and soul family haven't, because they would have. So it's not that the people from the past weren't your soul family. It's like, okay, I've done my part, you've done your part. I'm hearing the two Orgitas from Encanto, where they sing about the butterflies like flying away from each other to come back. There's this essence of like your soul family, like we've done what's needed. It feels like emotional in a way. It's like we've done what's needed, we've brought out these energies, we've helped each other alchemize, and when it's time, whether it's in this lifetime or whether it's in another lifetime, we'll connect again. And maybe in that lifetime we can ascend together at the same time. But for now, this is the path that we've chosen through our own self-will and our own free will, and our own, heart. And whether it's in this lifetime we're able to be on that vibration, or whether it's next lifetime, like, we will see each other again. Don't worry about that. It's always love. We're never disconnected from each other because we're connected by the heart. And there's a reference to that. They keep referencing the song Two Orgitas, or Dos Orgitas, and it's the song from Encanto, if you want to go check it out. But they basically sing, it's time for you guys, it's time for you to fly apart, to reunite, wonders await you just on the other side. Don't look behind, fly till you find your way till tomorrow. So there's an essence of that coming through. Pile number 2. I feel very excited for you, like, for sure. Pile number 2. What guidance do they have? We have the Tulip, friendship and gratitude. Let us be grateful for the people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our soul blossom. Yeah, I feel like you're about to tap into new members of your soul tribe, and I know we have the sun here, but it's literally coming out of the rose. I mean, this is the rose oracle, and then we literally have the rose without thorns, and then we're talking about environmental awareness, and we have the sun here, and then we have the tulip growing. Like, there's these energies of you, and again with the birds analogy, it's like coming out of one sort of awareness and into another and blooming. There's a new part of you that's about to bloom. It's a new adventure you're about to embark on. We also have Dahlia, I never know how to enunciate that. Dignity. A wise man has dignity without pride. A fool has pride without dignity. Yeah. I saw this quote. When did I see it? It was a while ago. I screenshot it and I was looking through my camera roll because I've been having a clean up, ready for the spring equinox, and I found it. It says something like, enlightenment begins when we stop giving an F. And when I say we stop giving an F, I mean when we stop caring about the projections of others, of how we look and all of these things, because that's somebody else's view of life. It's not mine. You can't taint what I'm doing here. When I want to let my inner child run free and play in a park at let's say 31 years old, I can do that. I don't care if people think there's, something going on there, if I'm just weird. Like, I don't care if people want to laugh at me for that. If I want to wear those bright green boots because I want to wear them today, I don't care if some people are going to mock those boots, because some people are going to love it and it's my truth. So there's this essence of like, you're finding a state of awareness as well beyond the opinions of the human brain. You're moving beyond that. I also saw something a while ago and it was like, opinion is the lowest form of human consciousness, because it's like there's no higher awareness sometimes to it. It's just what we're seeing in the moment. Whether you believe in that or not, it was just a quote I read, and I do see that there is truth to it in ways. And I feel like you're coming to that kind of state of awareness, like that you are living your life for you. And the back of the deck, we have Amaryllis. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Determination and creative achievement. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Life's going to get very colourful for you. Very colourful for you. It's like you're understanding that you are the creator of your own life and bringing that abundance to you. I feel like that's what you're waking up to, that consciousness, but it starts by going within. And that's why you're being called to it right now. There's like downloads happening right now. Even in your energy now, I just see like downloads happening for you to reach an understanding. And even if something like scares you, sit with it for a second. Because even with like myself, when I need to understand the energy of light and dark, there were certain times where I'd like have like a psychic attack, or I'd have like an energy come towards me, and it was in the moment where I was no longer fearing it, and I was like, what are you doing? I was able to understand what that energy was doing, and I was like, oh my god, you've just made me realize something. And I'm not obviously going to bring you into my essence, but you've just helped me do something here. So thanks for playing your part, and I'm going to move forward with this awareness that I've just found. I'm not going to fear you anymore. So when that energy started to come from now on, it was like, it didn't even touch me anymore. It was just like, I get what you're doing. Like, I understand it. I'm still going to be spreading my light though. You do you. It was that sort of situation. So what I've just said may not even make sense to some of you, but like, that's what I mean. Like, these little things may happen and you might be scared of them, or it might be like, what does this mean? But the more you sit with it and understand it, you'll find that there's a higher meaning, and that may even be the unraveling that brings a higher meaning to your current life. And that's something that I want to say, pal two. So that's the message that I have for you, my pal twos. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening. I'm sending you guys all of my love, and a beautiful transition I hope you have. So I hope you guys have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 3, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose the jade crystal. I'm going to place that over here and we're going to get straight into the reading. So I am going to be channeling messages from your spirit team. So any messages that they feel that you need today, that's what we're going to be tapping into. And I'm going to be using just oracle cards and not tarot today, just because I want to more so focus on channeling, and it just feels more natural for me to just use oracle today. So I hope that's cool. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start with the animal spirit cards. So let's get straight in. So pile 3, please, spirit guides, tap me into the jade crystal pile, tap me into my pile number 3s, tap me into my pile 3s. Have you dealt, pile 3, with like people in the past that have like gaslighted you, tried to call you out of your essence, tried to make you question yourself? And it could be question your self-worth, any of that, but it's more so, it's like, I feel like you're very intelligent, more than even you will give yourself credit for, and I feel like you're more intuitive than you will give yourself credit for. And there's this energy with you guys of like, I feel like you may be going through like a healing phase right now in regards to your heart chakra. There's a strong essence of the heart chakra and a purge taking place for some of you guys, and it's aiding you in reaching that higher stage and reaching that forgiveness and all of that. But there's this essence of you having to deal, and it's not like it doesn't have to be an ex, because it doesn't even come across just that way. It almost feels like family. It could have been your whole life, friendships and things like that, but there's almost this essence of you internalizing something right now. I'm going to get into it, so I'm going to pull the cards, but there is an essence of that coming through. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides, tap me into my pile 3s, the jade crystal pile. Tap me into my pile number 3s. Tap me into my pile number 3s. What message do my pile number 3s spirit teams have for them? What does pile number 3s spirit team have for them? So we have the sea serpent. Okay. Now, what I'm picking up for you guys is there is a strong inner child healing right now. That would have affected your relationship with maybe just about everybody, you know, co-workers, friendships, relationships, and things like that. I feel like you've been either called out of your name in your life, or you've just had a lot of people project, maybe bully you, and I feel like you've almost taken on their opinions as your own, and that's nothing that you did wrong. Especially when it happens at a younger age, when it's happening in our childhood, we can sometimes forget our own intuition and our own understanding of self, and we can take on what the parent is saying, and then that leaves us to be an open, you know, projection to other people then. And with you being strong empaths, I feel, you may be my water pile, I feel like you're strong empaths. I feel like you mirror a lot. I feel like you have been subject then to people projecting onto you their view of you. And some of their views weren't very good. And some of their views were very low vibrational, because that's the way that they saw the world. And in turn, I feel like you took them on. And I feel like you took on people's shame. I feel like you took on people's guilt. I feel like people have maybe turned on you and created you to be maybe some sort of quote unquote bad guy in ways, when it takes two to tango in situations. But I feel like people have tried to point the finger at you. And I feel like very similar to pile number 2 in the sense that there is a shedding of skin. I feel like that's happening for you, but I feel like for you guys, it's affecting your emotions right now, because there's a purge going on in the heart. But it's not just happening in the heart, it's happening in the solar plexus. I see you guys purging out layers of projections people have placed onto you, and that's something that I see you doing. And the fact that the sea serpent came out instead of the snake is because it's happening at a higher awareness. I see this happening to purge out once and for all, because the fact that we have the sea serpent instead of the snake, the sea serpent is underwater, it's the sea serpent, so you're being cleansed, you're having this happen. So right now I feel like your solar plexus and your heart chakra are very heightened right now, and this change that we can feel in this collective right now may be a little bit heavier for you, and I can feel that, and I'm with you, but just know there's a purpose to what you're feeling right now. And if you are feeling insecure right now, or you are feeling left behind, or you even feeling senses of shame and guilt right now, allow them to come up and purge, because you are going to come to an understanding that they were never yours to take on, and you are going to be clearing them from your energy field. And that's actually what I see happening for you guys, pile 3 right now. These projections that other people put on you, they weren't yours, you know. Other people's perception is not our reality, and it's something that I feel maybe your inner child took on in your childhood, pile 3. Maybe you had a parent that was narcissistic. Maybe you had a parent that didn't even realize what they were doing. They just projected a lot onto you. So your inner child and your shadow self, it was like, to keep me safe right now, in my childhood right now, I've learned to shun myself, and just be what someone else needs me to be, and listen to what that person says I am, because if I argue against it, I'm told I'm wrong anyway, so I'll hide it. And maybe you've gone into your adult life that way, and maybe you've almost lost yourself in connections and things like that, but you're entering a time where you're finding yourself, and maybe you've gone on an inner journey or an awakening, or you've been doing shadow work. But what's happening now is, to find ourselves, we have to pull out the weeds of projections. We have to pull out the weeds that were no longer us. And that's what I see. I see you taking these things that have been thrown at you off. But to take them off, that's a kind of physical way of looking at it. But we have an energetic body and we have an emotional body. And what I see you guys, what I see happening is it coming and seeping through. They're showing me it in the way of like when we eat something, sometimes the smell of it, like I know it's a weird way, but like sometimes the smell of it can seep through the pores when we sweat. So they're referencing it to me like that, in the sense of the spiritual body and the emotional body. It's alchemizing through, you know, that whole essence to kind of come out, and you're having to feel it to let go, so that you realize, you know what? You made me feel insecure when I wore this, but my opinion is that I look good in this. So you're actually on this kind of self-discovery path right now of realizing who you are without the clutter and without the constraints of other people. And it's a journey for you guys that I wouldn't say it's painless. I feel like you're aware that it's not painless, but with you purging that out, you're meeting a higher sense of self. And that's being washed away from you. You know what I mean? Because it was never yours to even hold on to in the first place. And I feel like it's almost this sense of kind of like saving the inner child and teaching the inner child, like that part of us, that unique part of us, that part of us that speaks up for ourselves, and the opinions that we have, they matter, and I'm allowed to say them. So maybe you're even having people right now push on your boundaries, but it's having you stand up and being like, I don't need to take on that right now. I don't need to take on this projection of me being bad because I put in a boundary on. I don't need to I'm not just a carer in your life, I'm a real person. So it's time you saw that real me instead of just maybe the healer or the carer or the overgiver. And if you don't like the real me, and you only like the overgiver, then that's where I'm going to have to cut ties with you, because I'm not your carer, I'm not your healer, I am much more than that. And I'll just find somebody who really enjoys me. And understanding that if they don't want that version of you, that doesn't mean that it makes you any less. And these are the understandings that I feel a lot of you guys are coming to, Pile 3. Let's pull some more oracle cards for you guys. But that's what I see. And the fact that the serpent is around in a circle, it's because when we look at the healing symbol, it's a spiral. It starts in the middle and it goes round and round until it concludes. And that's what's happening right now. There is a healing taking place in your emotional body right now. So pile number, the first card we have is Sea Goddess of Courage, Authentic Communication. So that's the first card we have here. Yeah, I feel like you've almost been silenced in ways, told to be quiet, you're too much, that sort of thing. And apologies if this is triggering, but this is the message that's coming through. And it's again, it's happening for you to purge. But with authentic communications, it's like speaking your boundaries, seeing the truth of something, because I feel like you're very intuitive. You see how your third eye is shining out there? You're very intuitive. It's like, I see the truth, so I'm going to speak it. If you don't like it, then, you know, this is my outlook of life. This is my opinion. I'm entitled to it. I am a real person. I'm an individual while I'm in this physical incarnation. And I'm going to authentically communicate my needs, my wants, and what I think. And if you don't like it, then you don't have to listen. But I'm going to do that. Pile number 3. What do we got here? Akashic Gaia Gateway. Deepen self-knowledge. Yeah, it's like their inner child and the shadow self are like standing in front of me, hand in hand. We got something to say. And we want to be heard and seen now. And we're going to come through regardless, because it's, you know what I mean? And I feel like you're wanting those parts of you to come through so you can understand yourself at a whole. But maybe you've shunned the inner child, or you've shunned the shadow self, or the unique side of yourself. And I feel like it's coming through, and you want it to come through. But to do that, these connotations that maybe are in your belief system right now, you're having to let go of and anchor away. And maybe there's some painful realizations that are coming with it, but it's leading you to a heightened state of not only who you are, but of freedom in yourself, you know? The back of the deck, we have, literally, we have the Sacred Serpent Spirit DNA activations. There's a lot of activations going on in the collective right now. There's a lot of shifts taking place in the collective right now. There's a lot of higher awareness taking place, and I feel like this is yours, understanding who you are to a deeper degree, because there's a lot of truth and a lot of depth to you that you may have kept hidden to make people feel comfortable. And again, it's not anything you did wrong. I did this for years. It's a part of a process. Sometimes we have to lose ourselves to find ourselves. And then when we do find ourselves, we realize we were never lost. It was all an illusion, you know? And I feel like that's a path you're working on right now, and working through right now. And the way I look at it, and the way your spirit team are looking at it, like, this is beautiful. You're coming home. It's like a homecoming, but I understand what it's like to be in the thick of it. And you hear spirit say it's beautiful, and you're like, no, it's not, because it doesn't feel like it at the time. But you're walking back to, you're coming back home is the essence. You're coming back home to your understanding of who you are. You're coming back home to your power, your confidence, your happiness, and it's happening. And the transformation is never painless, but it's needed. And I do see you reaching that point. If you ever doubt it, know that you will reach that point. I reached it, and I know you can too. You know, we do come out the other side. As dark as we can go, we come out the other side. Especially with you guys, with, you know, you chose a jade crystal. You have a very very expansive heart. It almost consumes in a way. You have a very beautiful heart. You're very tied in with your soul mission. I feel like it's connected to your heart. You love people. And that's another understanding of going through these things. Why would you make me feel like that? There's a feeling of that coming through from the inner child. Why would you make me feel like that? I don't get it. I would never do that. But then we get to that understanding that those people may not have been connected to their own inner child and heart, and they chose to dim it in others because they, in their mind, were taught that it was wrong. There's many reasons why people do the things that they do, but at the same time, your heart has always stayed pure like that, and you're leading yourself back home through it. And if anyone's ever made you doubt how genuine you are as a person, how beautiful your heart is, how worthy you were, I'm here to tell you you're very worthy and you're a very genuine person. I can feel it in your aura. You have a heart of gold. I hope no one's ever made you feel like you weren't. Pile 3, you're a nurturer, you're a carer. I swear I can hear my cat, Jasper, running around my room. But yeah, you're a nurturer, you're a carer. You know, with animals as well, like I feel like they're kind of drawn to you. I hope no one's ever made you feel like that, but I have got a hunch that maybe people have, and I see you breaking free of that. Pile number 3. I feel that it may be a heavy time for you right now, and I understand that. And I hope that you are doing everything that you can to self-nurture right now and self-care. Don't beat yourself up if you're not doing your workouts, or you're not getting that job done as efficiently as you want, or you're not tidying up as much as you want to be, or you're not basking in certain things right now. Listen to your own body and yourself. You need a lot of nurturing and caring for the self right now. And when the tide feels like it's gone out, it's coming straight back. I'm hearing Jessie Reyes, the song Love in the Dark. That's a message from your spirit team to you. Jessie Reyes, spelled JESSIEREYEZ. Love in the Dark. Because I feel like you are that light in the dark. I feel like you are that. Pile number 3. What message do we have here? Find strength in solitude. Island. I'll pull one more card and we'll channel for that bit. Let me move these cards up. Yeah, it's almost like your inner child and your shadow self screaming out right now. So it's like, listen to those parts of yourself. Even if it's like emotions that are uncomfortable for you. You know, anger, frustration, all of that. Allow yourself to feel them. Allow yourself to give your shadow self the mic, give your shadow self the center stage, give your inner child that, and whether you've got to write it out, say it out loud, allow these emotions to come out. Don't fear them. They're needing to come out so they can be released. I find with what we human beings call quote unquote darkness, when we give it the mic to kind of say its thing or do its thing, and I don't mean to other people, I mean just, you know, while maybe we're in solitude, it says its piece and then it's gone. Like whenever I feel a feeling of anger, jealousy, anything like that, because I feel those things, I like to treat them as a visitor. I allow myself to feel it, and I allow my shadow self to just say whatever in that moment, and then I'll understand it, and then I'll alchemize it. And there's a feeling of you doing that and that aiding you. We also have the sand dollar. Prosperity is within reach. This isn't happening in vain. This really isn't happening within vain. You're bringing all of those fragmented parts back to yourself. You're doing soul retrieval without even... Some of you may not even be aware what soul retrieval is, but you're bringing those shard parts of yourself back by calling them back and allowing them to come back. Maybe you're stuck right now. There's an essence as well. Your spirit team is saying you're stuck on time periods. You're stuck in 2014. You're stuck in 2013. When we're stuck on a time period, there's a fragment of ourselves there. And that fragment of ourselves is still attached to itself, and it's saying, something here you got to see. There's something here I want you to see. There's something here we didn't alchemize. There's something here. And that's why you always go back to that essence, or maybe that person. There's a part of me still with this person, or there's a part of me still here. And we allow ourselves, what I used to do is I kind of like narrate the situation to try and understand it from a higher degree. If something happened, I'd be like, right, okay. Like I almost talk like it was an interview. I don't know if this would help somebody, maybe it will. I talk like it was an interview. It would have sounded crazy. I'd be in my room and I'd be like, right, so I woke up this morning and I did this, and then this happened, and then this happened, and I'd understand it, and I'd go into this fit of crying because I'd understand something from a higher perspective, and I'd allow it to purge and release, and then moving forward, obviously I'd still be connected to that day, maybe for a day or two, because I'm purging the emotions up. But then the next week, I wouldn't even be thinking of that time period. And there's so many time periods in my life where I'd be so connected to it because I'd be going round and round in circles. I could tell you what happened day in, day out of that day because I remembered it, because it was part of me stuck there. Sitting here today, I would have to really tap into that memory as if I was tapping into Akashic Records to understand what happened that day, because it just disappeared because I took that part of me back. So there's an essence of that with Find Strength in Solitude, of you listening to who you're stuck on, what word you're stuck on that someone may have said to you, or that time period that you were stuck on, and bringing that part of you back. Maybe it was teaching that 16-year-old girl that the clothes she was wearing were actually fire and she looked really cool and she should express herself the way that she wants. Or the 25-year-old male who was in that relationship where that person was cheating on them and they allowed it to happen, and going back to that 25-year-old male and going, you know what? We know better than this, and almost coaching that person and saying, we deserve more than this, and bringing that part of you back, you know? I've had to do it many times. I don't want to make the reading about me, but I've had to do that a lot. And I feel like that's something that would really aid you. I see a lot of myself in you guys, Pile 3. And I feel like that would really, really aid you guys. Whether it's writing a letter to those versions of yourself, having to, if you're not ready to relive it, I understand, but decipher those parts and that emotion that is stuck there, so that you can kind of like purge it out. But don't beat yourself up that you're not in this new beginning yet, because it's taken you to this new beginning. You're alchemizing right now, you know. In the words of Janae Aiko, there is no end, there is no beginning. You know, everything really isn't. Like, that's what she says. So don't worry about that. We also, guys, the back of the deck, we have the Sandcastle. It's only temporary. It's only temporary. So this phase that you're in right now, this castle right now, of maybe isolation, what happens with sandcastles? They don't stand the test of time. The water comes and washes them away. And that's what I see happening for you. It's a flush that's happening right now. That's why you had the sea serpent. It's a flush that's happening of emotions to cleanse you from all that was not your truth. And that's happening for you right now. Pile number 3. What message do my pile number 3's spirit teams have for them right now? What message do my pile number 3's higher selves have for them right now? What have we got? Oh God, I almost fell off my chair. We have morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. So this is where you're moving towards. Just like when the sea washes that sandcastle away, the sea is bringing you back to land, where you'll have a better understanding of what went on, and you'll be back in your essence, and you'll be at that point where anyone can say anything to you. It just doesn't bother you anymore. That's not me. I understand who I am completely. When the empath knows their power, watch out. And I mean that in the sense of when the empath knows their power, they're like the biggest threat to the narcissist. You know what I mean? Because now that they're not only mirroring, but they have that power and they can see through. They're like the biggest threat to the narcissist. And the reason I'm saying that is when you see these people then projecting and chucking onto you, you can see their projection in the mirror of why they're doing it. It'll happen to me a lot. If I get like somebody saying something like that to me, I can see where it's coming from. And it's like, I'm so sorry I triggered you that way. I didn't mean it that way, but that is your truth. I have to honor how you're feeling and how you're viewing me. That is your truth, but it's not my truth. So I understand, and you have every right to feel or think this way because this is your life. but it's not mine. And I don't view it that way. I know myself. So you can't really tell me about me if I know who I am. So there's this essence of you coming to that and reaching that point. Pile number 3. What do we got? Ooh. Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, support. Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, and support. You may even find as well, like, negative emotions are coming through, but I don't mean it in the sense of quote-unquote negativity. I mean it in the sense of, like, your masculine energies may be coming through, in the sense of, like, maybe your higher self wanting to defend you. That part of you that's kind of like protective, that part of you that's in the physical, that part of you wanting to kind of like protect and nurture. There's this essence of you balancing out your femininity and your masculinity, and I just feel like there is this shift taking place, but they're showing me the yin yang symbol, and both distortions of both sides are being kind of like rebirthed. So that is something that I'm being told as well. I feel like maybe you've always been in your divine feminine more, where you've been a little bit more passive, in a state of receiving, and you're learning when to put your foot down and be in the physical. And I feel like that's why it's kind of like tying in as well. So maybe you're feeling that need with that essence of you to kind of like raw a little bit, or you know, and it's part of you that's been suppressed and it's coming out. So there's this essence and this flush of both sides of your being coming through. Maybe you're feeling the need to really talk your ish and really say these things. So you may be having throat chakra activations, but there's something about that coming through as well. Because I feel like you've always had your inner healer there, but it's like your inner warrior coming through, like, right, this stops, this ends here. You know what I mean? I know who I am. You can't take that away from me. The back of the deck, we have the Rose of Venus, alignment, flow, right relationship, and harmony. So it's bringing you to a state of being where your connection with people is going to be not only a lot more healthier, but I feel like you're going to be drawing in people that really F with you, because now they're seeing the real you and not just the healer or the person that was given. They're actually going to be seeing you and the cool parts of you, the creative part of you, the funny part of you, because it's like, I can share these things about me because I don't care about hiding them anymore, because I don't care if somebody doesn't want to see them, or if somebody wants me to dim my light, they're just going to have to go sit in the shade. I'm not going to dim my light. Does the sun dim its light? No. So there's an essence of that coming through. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guide. So we have the Amaryllis, determination and creative achievement. You can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. Yeah, there's something about your uniqueness coming back through. Maybe you stopped yourself from wearing something or singing or doing something that was like so authentic to you, and I feel like that's coming back to you, or it will come back to you once you remove these kind of like projections. I always used to hide the fact that I love Doctor Who. Like, I love Doctor Who so much, but like when I was in school and I would watch it, like I was in with like a crowd that acted older than what they were. They'd like smoke and stuff. I was very young, and I would hang around with those people because I was a bit of like a misfit. So I would never tell anyone that I liked Doctor Who, and I would hide it. If you've watched my videos, you know I talk about it all the time. I just think it's the best show in the world. You know what I mean? If you've never watched it, you should. It's like it's about a guy, and he's a Time Lord, and he goes into space, and there's like monsters. It's really cool. But you know, my inner child suppressed that for a really long time, and now I rant and rave about it all the time because it's my inner child, like, guys, you gotta watch this, you know. So there's parts of your inner child coming through like that. Pile number, I can really connect to your reading. That's why I'm using a lot of my own experiences as a explanation, so that you can see what I did, and maybe that could aid whoever needs that sort of thing, you know. We have the Bellflower, gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So you're tying the loose ends up from your past so that you can jump into the new paradigm without the projections of your old timelines and paradigms. That's what you're doing, so that you can find peace in the present moment without it being plagued of distortion. And then you can set up that future where you're abundant and free to be who you always were. Because these projections were only an illusion. The back of the deck, we have Snapdragon. Graciousness and benevolence, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. You're a very pure person. You have a very beautiful big heart. I said this from the beginning. I see it in you. And we have it here. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. The universe sees that. The universe sees your heart. It understands that purity. That's why you're so connected to nature. You resonate with it because it's that purity. That's why you resonate with animals. You know what I mean? Because it's that purity. It's that abundant essence. They're connected to all. You know what I mean? And I feel like you're naturally connected to that. And the universe sees that. So that's why you're going through this transition, because the universe is like, they're connected to that. They need to live their life as a reflection of it, and then they need people in their life as a reflection of it. So we need to kind of cleanse that right now. So the universe is like allowing you to go on the shift to cleanse it out so that you can reach that point of abundance for yourself without distortion. Because it's like when a plant is dying, we don't just throw away the plant. We give it more water if it needs more water. We put it, we place it somewhere else. Does it need to be in the sun? You know what I mean? Does it need to be here? Does it need to be there? Like we look at that and we nurture it to bring it back to health. And I feel like there's almost this feeling of the universe allowing and guiding you through that. You know what I mean? What do we need? What do we need? What do we need to get rid of? Maybe we need to get rid of this harsh light. Maybe we need to get rid of this food that we're giving it. There's an essence of that coming through. So you can return to wholeness in that sense. And that's something that I'm being told. And that light always prevails. Never feel like you've lost your light. It may feel like that sometimes, but for example, my mother, when I was born, she had like a grass garden, right? She put tiles over it. When I tell you, every 3 or 4 months or so, she's calling me. We need to get rid of the weeds, because she's got a bad back. She can't do it herself. We need to get rid of the weeds they've grown through. And it's such a... I love like looking at the garden and watching nature just come through, because it's like, no matter how, even with cement here, nature's making its way through, because that purity, that light's always going to make its way through. Always. It's always going to happen. And if you think of the plants underneath, they're not even getting sunlight. There's concrete on top of it. That's what she's done. Like when I was younger, she put like tiles and stuff on top of it. It's what we see with concrete and stuff. There's nature under it. But even when you're walking on a sidewalk and you see those bricks, you still see that rose that grow from the concrete, which is one of my favorite sayings. You still see that little plant, that little bud come through. It always happens, and that's what's always going to happen for you, and that's what I see happening for you. You're growing through your darkness to reach your light again. And I just want to pull up this card. What is it? The back of the deck. It's only temporary. Okay, I want to pop that out to end the reading for you guys. So that's the message that I have from your spirit team, pile number 3. I really hope that this reading brought you comfort. I really hope that this reading helped you in any way, aided you in any way. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.